What's up guys, Nekrews 51 today. We are back with a brand new video, and as you can see on your screen right now, we have F1 22. Thanks to EA and Codemasters, I've been given early access to the game and be able to capture some gameplay for you today. It's going to be only Miami because, well, I don't want to say too much, but we could say some content coming very soon on this game in the future. Not right now, but today is only going to be Miami. We're going to run through the game and not talk about too many little features because I can't say too much until the game, well, not say comes out, but until we can release a little bit more as the time comes on. But pretty much we're going to do a 100% race at Miami today. And we're going to be Carlos Sainz, because I probably think most of everyone else is going to either be Verstappen or Leclerc, or just the usual people. So I just want to have a little bit of a change and try Carlos, because Carlos really needs a bit of luck right now. So let's hopefully win today's Grand Prix for his sake. But I'm going to talk about how the track feels and little bits and pieces like that. Some new features that are in the game, as you can see on the formation lap ahead here. Obviously this is such a early build of the game, so don't take the car models and car performance too seriously. For example, with George being on pole right now, you know that's not realistic. But as you can see on your screen, there's something you're probably noticing, and that's us going to our grid slot, which is a new feature on the game. You can now drive to your grid slot and drive from there pretty much. So you've got to nail it. You've got a purple and green marker. Obviously purple is what you're wanting and green is average at best. And if you do fail to misjudge your grid slot, you'll be put behind, you'll basically just get reset to the original slot where you should be anyway, which is a great feature on this year's game. As you can see, we've been underway here on the Grand Prix, and well, I have to say it's not been the greatest of starts. We started P3 and we're still P3, but we're near enough into P1 at one stage. But from what I've experienced around this track so far and what I've driven, well, I have driven 58 laps, so I did get quite the experience of going around the track. When I first went round it, it was quite hard to get used to, and so is the 2022 cars as well. A little bit more understeer, I have to say, compared to the 2021 cars, which is quite realistic obviously because we know the performance of the 2022 cars is a lot slower than 2021, but I wouldn't say it's too much of a difference. You'll get used to it as the time goes on, and as you can see, Leclerc and Russell having a massive battle here, coming through into the final part of the lap, and we've made a move round outside of George Russell. Russell tries to fight back, or as I should say, the Tesla Formula 1 car there, because obviously we've got a few bugs and glitches in this build of the game. So we're saying nothing's perfect. It won't be perfect because it's the first early build of the game. As you can see, Perez there, or the Tesla Red Bull, going round outside of George. George sends it late again. We went a little bit wide there, and we managed to hold off the position. For anyone wondering what the AI percentage is, I've set it to 110. Obviously, we've got to set it to 110 to see how crazy it could be, and to be fair, I always race on 110 anyway, and it seems just to be a lot more competitive. I don't really see the point in racing on lower AI, obviously, unless you're starting off on the fun game and you're not at that stage yet. But we're skipping right on there, obviously, to the pit lane, and as you can see, well, another feature added to the game, you've got to time when you turn into your pit stop, otherwise your stops could be slower than others. And as you can see there, I got optimal, so my estimated stop time was between 2.3 and 2.7. We did get 2.7. I'm not saying it's a pretty pointless feature, because obviously it's really just pressing the button on your wheel, and it's pretty easy to get optimal really anyway. But I would have loved to have seen ourselves driving to the pit box and stuff like that, but obviously that's just what it is. Skipping on to lap 23 here now. As you can see, we're on board with Yuki Tsunoda, and it was Guan Yu Zhou there made a really crucial mistake. He was near enough in the points and had a big spin there, and it's great to see the AI making little mistakes like that, because obviously in the past we have seen the AI make mistakes, especially on F1 2021, but little mistakes like that, a little bit more intense compared to the previous game, which is great to see. Spinning as well on this game, have to say, very more intense compared to the previous game. For just like, if you let up the rear tyres, you're spinning so quickly. Now picture Schumacher's spin in Bahrain, it's pretty much like that every time if you spin. It's not a slow spin on F1 compared to F1 2021, it's a lot quicker. But we're going to skip later on here. We're on lap 32, and as you can see, we've not pitted at all after making our first stop. Leclerc has already pitted on to his second stop and probably his final stop on the mediums. We were trying something different. We were just going to stay out a little bit longer and try and pit for the softs at the end and extend our strategy and hope for a safety car, and that's not really worked, unfortunately. So we're just nursing the car through until the end of the Grand Prix, and obviously it's all going so quick, I know, but unfortunately I've only got 10 minutes to do this video, so I've had to edit it a lot further down than obviously I would have wished, because I would have extended it to like 15-20 minutes if I had the chance. But it is what it is. It's as much as I can give you now. But lap 45, we come to the pit lane, make our second stop of the Grand Prix, taking the softs to the end. Tyre degradation is a little bit high here, I have to say, but obviously if you take care of the tyres, everything should not be too bad. But we came up behind Perez because, well, we were settling in P2 for a long while anyway, and we had a big enough gap to stay ahead of Perez, and well, Perez kind of just caught us up a little bit of the second phase of the race, and we've made the move round the outside, little lock up there, and that's that. Now skipping on to lap 48 here, as you can see, we've just passed Bottas, who has just had quite the crash, and so has Sergio Perez. Something insane you would not expect to see. A massive pile-up between two cars, and I believe that was Gasly that went into this pile-up as well. So something, well, quite strange, but I'm not going to complain because it's great to see little features like this on the game, and safety car was deployed on that exact lap. So we decided to come to the pit lane for another set of softs. Charles didn't react at all, so Charles has put himself in a really vulnerable position. Unfortunately for us though, we've got 5 back markers in the road, so we're in a Abu Dhabi 2021 situation here, and I just wanted to show you that shot of the Hard Rock Stadium because it's such a lovely shot that was there, especially with the graphics being on full and ultra high. Now we're restarting the Grand Prix here, as you can see, near enough going into the back of Kevin Magnussen. It's going to be absolutely chaos here because all these back markers, including Lewis Hamilton, as you can see there, in P12, Lando Norris sent it on 2 drivers there and managed to get through while letting us pass. So 5 drivers getting out the road, pretty much how Abu Dhabi could have went if the FIA didn't let the back markers go in the final stages of that race. Now I want to show you a replay here of Seb, because this is Seb's POV. So he's a lap down, we're ahead, as you can see, near enough going to the back of Kevin. He lets George go, decides to send it on George, locks him into turn 1, cuts the corner slightly, slows down. Look at all these drivers going so slow. We've got Perez in the mirrors, I believe it's Max, sorry, because Perez I believe is out of the race. Alonso going through there, then Ocon, I believe, unless he's just making a move. Then he's forced to slow right down again for all these cars. And yeah, I've never seen that in a race for a long time. But yeah, skipping on to lap 54 now. We are wheel to wheel with our teammate Charles Leclerc, because we're on the quicker tyre, he is on the mediums, and he's extended his tyres quite far into the end, and we've got a lot of grip, obviously, compared to him with 4 laps to go. Racing round here quite nice as we nearly lose the back end. Very tight section here, obviously. This is not going to be an overtaking zone, I believe, but very nice to see when the F1 cars go around here in real life. Slipstream effect, definitely quite realistic to real life. It's obviously not as powerful as it was last year, as you guys will know. So I'd say that's a good feature in this game. So the tow isn't effective. Obviously the falling didn't really matter because you could follow quite close in a 2021 game anyway. But the slipstream, I'd say pretty bang on. As you can see in this game, we're really close to Leclerc, taking a while to catch up to the back of him here. As you can see, going round the outside into the last corner. You near enough hit the back side of him here, and we're going to go round the outside, get the better traction. Leclerc made a mistake at the last corner, and just like that, that was us to the end of the Grand Prix, and we've just won as Carlos Sainz for the first time in the 2022 season. Now hopefully we see this weekend, because I do want to see Carlos get a little bit of luck. Hopefully he does very soon. But obviously you probably noticed as well, no Porpoising in this year's game, unfortunately. Porpoising came in quite late into the season, no one really expected it to happen, and it's kind of became a big talking point of the season. So obviously that's not going to be in the game, unfortunately. We would have loved to seen it, but that would have been interesting for people who have played on VR as well, actually. But it is what it is. My opinion on Miami so far: the track, great, very intense. It is quite the workout, actually, if you do 58 laps like what I've done. But yeah, it's a very nice track, I'd say. The whole stadium itself is Very nice. The whole venue, it's stunning, if I'm quite honest. As you can see, there's new cutscenes here as we're watching Marcel or Carlos Sainz coming out to the podium. Very nice to see these little cutscenes being added to the game. Little features like this do make a big difference in the game, and it just makes it that little bit more realistic to previous games and just a little bit closer to the F1 experience, to real life. But yeah, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe if you're new. Obviously, I'm trying to get to 75,000 subscribers right now, and I really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. Like the video as well to see more exclusive F1 22 content coming very, very soon. I hope you have all had a great day, and yeah, I'll catch you very, very soon, guys.